Hello guys, in this tutorial I will be giving you 23 different React project ideas you can make, because we all know how hard it is to search for project ideas and the only thing you find is to-do app and weather app for the most time. So these are all the projects I made. I have them opened here, and in case you wanna see a tutorial on any of these, please let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to make a tutorial on them. So let's start with the most basic tutorial, and you can find anywhere, which is to-do app. So we can add a to-do, we can remove the to-do, and then if we submit an empty to-do, we get an error message. And again, yeah, we can remove that. So this is just the basic to-do app. This is the first project. So let's move to the next one. This one is a random number generator project. This is also a smaller project you can make. So you type a number here, let's say 1 and 11. And then you get a random number here. Let's try like 23, 25, 27 maybe. So this would be a second project example. Let's move on. The third one is also a simpler project. So it's like a simple image gallery app you can make. So you are showing one picture here, and then you click on another picture, and then that renders here. So this is the, I would call it like a simple image gallery project. These are mostly projects for beginners at the beginning, but after that we have some more advanced projects you'll see. Let's move on to the next project. This is like some type of color palette, and then once you click the color, it changes the background to that. This has box shadow, the text becomes white, and if you click on a text, it says copied. Click on this one, copy the hex code, and if we go here and paste it, as you can see, that's what we get. And then you can move around, click on other colors, you can copy this, whatever it is. So that would be our like color palette project. So moving on to the next one, this is an infinite scroll project. So it's gonna keep adding boxes each 100 milliseconds here. And we can wait a bit so you guys can see how it works. So each of them have a different background and a different number on them. And then you can see it scrolling. Once we scroll down, it keeps adding more and more boxes. So that's another project you guys can make. Let's move on. This is another project which is like make your own CV. So you guys can make something like this, where you can make your own CV files, and then you can also download that as well. So if I download that, let's call it 3, and then if we open that, we get a proper format. So that's our CV project here. Then the next project is going to be a weather app, so we can search for a city or country here. And then once we hit enter, we get the city, country, region, time, temperature, weather. So we can also display icons here. If it's sunny, you display sun. If it's raining, you display rain, stuff like that. If it's snowing, you can display snow. So this is also a project you guys can make. So let's move on to the next one. Our next project is movie app. So right now, this is not finished, I'm working on this, but right now I have like rap playlist, chill playlist. If we go here, play the song, you can hear it playing here. If we move on to the next one, it has a smooth animation. We can play the next song, pause, stuff like that. These are all the pages I didn't make yet. But yeah, it's music app is the project you guys can work on. So the next project is recipes app. As you can see here, we're gonna have a bunch of recipes here. Maybe you're gonna be able to edit them, change stuff, view more. You can see the whole recipe here. If we go back, we can search for, let's say, chicken here. And then we wanna open that one. We get a full recipe here. We have a login page as well. This is not connected to anything, it's just there. And I'm pretty sure I have add recipes page, which looks like this. And then I have a logout page, which also is not connected to anything right now. There's like sign in and register. yeah, this is a recipes app you can make. And then let's move on to the next one. This app is, let's say, like shirt design, I guess, or clothing design, because we have shirt and we have something else here. So shirt and hoodie. So we can start with shirt, and then we can see back of the shirt, front of the shirt. We can change the color to whatever we want, show printable area. So this is where your images, text is gonna go. If we hover over this, it says printable area. We can add text. This, let's say some. So there's our text here. We have few fonts we can change. We can adjust the font size, let's say 25. Let's say font weight. Actually, I think I only made that work with a hoodie. Yeah, so it doesn't work for the shirt yet. That's my bad. I didn't make it function for the shirt. So it only works for the hoodie right now, as you can see. If we change fonts, if we change font size here, like 20, font weight, let's say 800. Alignment, you can align it left, right, and center. Text color, you can change that to anything. Then this is resizable and also draggable, so you can move it here. You can resize that completely in any way possible, as you can see. And then the next thing we have is we can also add an image here, and then I added a few images here. This is a bad design because I did it, but say let's click add image, it adds picture here, then you can scale it like this. And that's mostly what this project has currently. So the next project we're gonna cover is something to do with Twitch overlay. So here you can select your name, so let's say put my name, and then let's see, I don't know, maybe we want to display this alert duration, let's say 4 seconds, and then let's see, maybe we want this sound, and if we test alert, it says who's following, it gives us that alert with the sound, and it gets removed after 4 seconds. Then the next project is typing game. So right now the way I had it is you can select the time here you want. So let's say, I don't know, 10 seconds, you can type your name. You can save that, that's gonna show once and it's gonna get removed. You can pick the keyboard layout. So there are 2 layouts here. You can pick the car you want or the bike. And once you click start, there's a word. So if you type wrong, it's gonna look like this. And then after that ends, it says how many correct words you got, but also, as you can see, once we type, if we got it wrong, it's red, and also whichever button we click, it should appear there. So that's another project you guys can work on, type racer or typing game, however people call it. The next one is shopping cart, I guess. So we have shoes here that you can buy. So we can sort by price, lowest price or highest price. We can add to cart. We can check which colors they have. So this one has green and purple. I guess black and green here. And then if we want to add this to cart, let's say we want this green, we add to cart. We have one here. If we go to last one, add to cart. Have 2 items. If we expand this, we get our cart here on the left and the total here. And then if we want to add more, let's say we want to add this, that gets added. This is scrollable here. That would be another project. Moving on to the next one is GitHub app. So the way I have it right now is I'm rendering my profile here, and I only render someone else's profile when you search for it, because this is usually just empty. So I wanted to render my profile first, and then as you can see, there's overview. If you click, it goes there. There's all the repos. You can scroll down, find all the repos. You can open one of them. Then there's followers here, where you can see all the followers you have. And then if we search for a user, I don't know, search for test, for example, and then we can see his followers, his repos, and his overview. And the picture here, description, whatever you might have. The next one is one of the bigger projects, definitely. This is a button app. This is something I finished like a few months ago where you can customize your own button. So this is the overview here, and you can change the background as well, so you can see how your button is going to look like on a different background here. These are all the things, all the code for the button. So for example, if you want to change the background color to like purple, there's also some smooth transition here, as you can see, and we can close that. Let's try changing the, I don't want to change the color, maybe want to change the font to Railway. Want to change the font size, so let's say 54. Want to change font weight to 700. Then you can mess around with padding, vertical padding, border, let's say 2 pixels, and then you pick a color here. As you can see, that gets added. Border radius, we want to do that, let's say 50 pixels, and do all sorts of stuff, box shadow, text shadow. This is the text that goes on the button. And then button class, if you remove everything, that's going to remove it from copy to clipboard. Here it's just going to be default to button. If you add a class, let's say like this, that gives us a class. We can copy to clipboard. I can't really show you here, but these are all the styles we get. You're not going to be able to see everything right here where I'm pasting it. And then we can also have hover styles that you can mess around. So once we hover, we get something. Right now we don't have anything, but that would be it for this project. So the next one is text generator app. I know the design of this is terrible because I did it again. Most of these are my design. A lot of them aren't as well because I'm not good at designing, but this is like, let's say, this is similar to Lorem Ipsum, but it's baked on Ipsum API. So for example, we can select 2 paragraphs, we can change this to whatever, let's say we want a span, we want an H1, H3, put this back to 1, include HTML, so H3 is showing here. If you don't want that, you only want text, you can do no. If you want it, you can do yes. And then you can copy to clipboard, go here, paste it again, and this is what we get. So that's another smaller project you guys can make. The next one is going to be an image app, and I'm pretty sure this is either Pexels, using Pexels API or Pixabay API, it's one of those. So we're displaying some pictures here, let's see, like 9 pictures, we click next, goes to next 9, click back for previous, it goes to previous 9 pictures, we can search for, let's say, dog, find the dog pictures here. So that would be another project, an image app with using either Pexels or Pixabay APIs. Then if we go back here, this is one of my bigger projects I make. It's still not finished, but this is like Learn to Code today, which is just learning basic CSS. And I can show you a few examples of it. So it starts really simple. For example, we need to add margin of 20 pixels to them. So there's a solution if you guys get stuck. So we can copy that, let's say we add that. So once we add something like this, it's still not going to work unless it's fully correct. So we need to add a semicolon here, and then this button appears. So we can move to the next question. And also if this is wrong and we hit enter, we get this animation here. Click next, move to the next question. So this has the most basic questions at the beginning, and then after that it has a lot of other questions that are harder, mostly with positioning, flex, and stuff like that. So maybe we can move to something like 25, let's say. So this is the flex, and we can see the solutions for that. We should find one more. So for example, this one. And also, whatever you type here updates, this is going to update automatically here on the right, so you can see the output. So for example, let's move our yellow box to the start by adding value flex start to it. So if you still, like, if you don't know how to do that, you can click solution again, and copy this, And once we add that here, as you can see, this is not correct still, but once we add semicolon, this moves to the start and we can continue. And this has around, I'm pretty sure, around 34 5 questions right now. And it's only for desktop at the moment. It's not responsive for mobile or anything, so I'll need to work on that. Also, let's leave the best for the last, so let's see this. So this is a markdown app. This is also simple to build. I have tutorial on a few of these. So just something where you can add your markdown. And you can see the output here. Then the next project, let's go with the movies app. So this project, once you load the page, you see, let's say, I don't know, I think it's 20 movies. And then when you click all movies, we're gonna have search bar appear here. And we're also gonna display 20 movies, but we're gonna have next and previous. We're gonna have some animation here for loader. We go to previous. And then if we wanna search for a movie, we can do that as well. Search for Batman. If we remove everything from here, it goes back to the first page. As you can see. So it's only popular movies and then all movies where you can actually search and go through pages. Then the next one is probably gonna be this. So this is the editor app I made. So the way it works, the output you can see here, this is the HTML and CSS. There's no JavaScript at the moment or anything else, so just HTML, CSS. And then, so whatever you type here, it's gonna update automatically if we change this to blue. So you can see this is blue. Then we have a few settings here. So project title is this, and also project title of the page. So whatever we type here, like hello, so this updates, and this updates as well. Publisher, so my name. Like here, if we save that, this uses local storage, so everything's gonna be stored once we refresh, as you can see. And then we can click here, we can move the layout to the right or to the left. That's also gonna save in local storage. If you wanna inspect the page, you can do full page view, or you can do editor view like this. You can save the file here, so it saves everything, the code and your settings. Or if you don't like anything, you can click new pen and start over, and I'll show you that in a second. One thing I wanna show you is this. So for example, let's add a background to the body here. Let me show you that. And remove the margins. So now if we resize, you're actually going to be able to see the value here, which is kind of buggy at the moment. I mean, the position of it, so it shouldn't be on top of scroll bar, definitely. And I also forgot to change the color of it because it's white, and when it's white background, you can see it. So those are some fixes I need to do. And then if you click new pen, it just removes everything and you start over. This is gray, and when you start typing, this becomes white, as it should be. Then another project is NotZap. This is probably something I think I finished this maybe 2 or 3 days ago. So we type our name here, click enter, it says welcome here, it says the date, and then we have to do, in progress, review, and done. And this also works with local storage. So for example, if we go here, we can change the background of this. So let's set this to blue, for example, and save. So we have cool animation for settings here, as you can see. Then once we change the color here, so let's say it's, I don't know, purple, or let's say this red. So if we save that, this changes to red, this text also changes to red. And then when we click add task, this button is also changed to red. So we can add something, for example, if this is empty, we're gonna have task can be empty. We had something, save task, it goes here. We want to add something to review. We can click, we can press enter. Then if I reload the page, that gets stored. We can remove this, remove that, and that. So that works perfectly. And then if we go to Google, so let's search for some wallpaper, for example. So I can show you how that works. And if we find, let's try this. So you can copy this link, and then once you go to settings, there's an option to add a picture here. So you can just paste that picture here, and you're gonna be able to see it. So if you click cancel, it's still gonna appear that it's there, but if you reload the page, it's actually not. But if we actually paste it here and save it, once we go here and reload the page, that's still saved. So that's another project you guys can make. And for the last project, I think I left the best for last, is Twitch panels app. And this design is based on a project that already exists, and I'll show you. So this is the original website by Nerd or Die, and I completely copied the design of it. He has a lot more functionality to the app. I did what I knew how to do, and this is the original app. So I made, I guess, a copy of it. I mean, it's just for practicing, it's not. So yeah, if you guys want to make something like this, there's a Twitch panel here. This is made with Canvas, so this right here is Canvas. So if we change the name to, let's say, P, we can change the font to something else, font weight, we can change font size, we can make the icon smaller or bigger, we can disable it and enable it here. You can pick icon you want, so let's say this. And if we go back to color, you can change the text color here. Then the background here, and then the icon background as well is something you guys can change. If we go to positioning, you can make this smaller or bigger. You can move this text left, right, top, bottom, if you don't want it centered. You can also do the same thing with the icon here, as you can see. And then here, if you want to see how it looks on different backgrounds as well, Twitch Dark, Twitch Light, and Mixer. And you can also upload your own picture. So if I go to, I don't know, let's see, download pictures. Let me see where I have some pictures I can test. So let's say we add this avatar here, or this bomb, for example. Then you can see it here, and you can scale it up and down. And then you can remove it as well if you want. Click remove, it goes back to our icon, and at the end you can download the panel, and we can call this, let's say, 1, 2, 3. Save that, and then you're gonna get your Twitch panel you made here, and you can upload that to your own Twitch channel and use it for anything you want. So that would be the last project. I think I covered like 23 projects, so all of these projects are projects I made myself, so it's not something I just found googling or searching on YouTube, because usually what you will find, it's mostly to-do apps, weather apps, and maybe, I don't know, recipes app. And in this example, you're able to see 23 different projects. And also, like I said in beginning of this video, if you want to see a tutorial on some of them, I'll consider doing it. For smaller projects, I'll do it instantly, but for bigger projects, they might take some time, and it might be a multiple video. It's not gonna be all in one. Maybe I'll have like part 1, part 2, and 3. So yeah, that would be it for this tutorial. Or not tutorial, actually, just showing you projects you guys can make and practice your React skills. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and got some new ideas for your next projects. And see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.